for checking out this video. I'm gonna do a gear breakdown of what's in my pack. I'm not gonna talk about weight. I'll link to my lighter pack list below in the description, but I figured I was gonna go through what I'm taking on my section hike next month for the Appalachian Trail. I'll be starting at Springer Mountain and going as far north as I can make it in about 3.5, 4 weeks. So without any further ado, let's jump right into it. So here is my pack and everything that I will be taking with me, minus food and fuel and additional water. This is the Superior Wilderness Design 40 long haul pack. It is a full suspension framed pack with hip belt pockets, which I added, and then I also added a couple extra features, which includes the Lycra mesh pocket here on the right side, which I'll stash my phone and probably a snack or two in. And then I also have the water bottle holder, which is great. This is a 1 liter smart water bottle with a flip top. Then over on the right side of the pack, I have the zip top top pocket, which will house sort of my like ditty kit in there. And then I have the short side pocket, so this has a couple of other small things that we'll get to. But then on the front, I have the Lycra 4-way stretch mesh, Lycra pocket, where I'll stash most of my need to grab quickly gear. And then on the other side, I have the tall pocket, which I will be carrying my tent. I feel like this is a pretty good startup. Right now my base weight's sitting at just under 13 pounds, which I think is pretty good. I could absolutely go lighter, but for the money that I invested, especially in this pack, sort of the big thing for this year, down from my Deuter pack, which I absolutely love, but I wanted to shave a pound or two for a longer hike. So let's break down what's in it. So we'll start right here on the side. We have the Big Agnes Fly Creek HVUL2. Picked this up last summer. It's a great tent. Took it out on the Superior hiking trail and absolutely loved it. So it's definitely an upgrade from our heavier REI quarter dome tent. It might be a tight squeeze for 2 people. Darren will be bringing the hammock for the first part of the trip that he's on, and just kind of see how that goes. But if it really needs to get cozy, absolutely both of us can fit in here without any issue. So that is the Big Agnes tent, and I do have the ground sheet in here as well. Flipping over to kind of the other side pocket, I've got another 1 liter smart water bottle with the Sawyer squeeze on it. I actually had some issues with this on the Ice Age trail segment that I did last summer as well. So I need to test that out, make sure that it's all good to go for next month. In terms of additional water storage, I have the 2 liter Knock Vecto bag. I love this. It makes getting water so much easier than just a little screw opening at the bottom of a lot of water carry bags that came with the Sawyer squeeze. This thing is super durable, and it's really great and easy in stash as well if you need to do some extra water carry. That's one thing that I am curious about, is how far the water source accuracy will be, since we're hitting the trail the middle of the summer. So we'll have to find out. I might have to do some extra water carry. Also in that pocket, I have the Z-Lite sit pad, which is great, not only just for a sit pad, but as a windscreen protection or fanning a fire or anything like that, else like that. And it's just really great and light. It'll be perfect. Flipping over to the top pocket on the side, I have I used one of the other little hip belt pockets that they sent me. They sent me teal and purple, which is really cool. But in it, I've got just like a bug net, my med kit, toothbrush, hairbrush, some body products. It's just some chafing, band-aids, other things like that. Kind of the miscellaneous everything that doesn't necessarily have a home goes right in here, and it sits perfectly in top of that. I might end up using that as snack storage during the day and move this to the interior of the pack all to be determined. This is definitely the longest backpacking trip that I've ever been on, so we'll see how things change from where I originally packed them to where they end up kind of by the end of the trip. Cool little product here for you female hikers, if I can get it snapped, is the Kula cloth. So this is just a fancy pea rag. It has antimicrobial stuff inside the rag, and so you wipe with the non-fancy side, and then you can snap it up and hook it on the outside of your pack if you don't want to touch the gross side, or you can just leave it kind of open so it'll air out and dry in the sun. Hopefully that is the idea, but I thought it was kind of cool. It's a lot softer than the $1 cotton bandana I got from Walmart, and it helps support helps support Cottage Gear Company. So highly recommend it. I think it's cool. They've got a couple of different designs for about $20. Then on the front of my pack in the mesh pocket, the lighter pocket, I have camp shoes. The benefit of Darren coming with me for a week is that if there are things that ultimately I end up not using, I will send home with him. But if there are dry days and there's some water crossing, things like that, I will definitely throw these suckers on. Or if it, if we end up getting into camp early and we've got a lot of time to kill, then just having something that aren't my regular trail runners for camp. I think these are pretty light, so I was excited to find these, and they're also kind of fancy looking. Also down in there is just my bathroom kit. I have the Deuce of Spades, which works really well, along with Ziploc bag, hand sanitizer, and then also kind of a backcountry bidet type thing if you want to be just a little bit cleaner, or using it as sort of like a hand washing station on the trail as well. So enough about that. Up next is the Outdoor Research Helium 2 rain jacket. Used this last summer, it got dumped on pretty hardcore, and didn't have any issues with really sweating out. I imagine you hike long enough and you will definitely you'll sweat out in this, but it packs up well. It's small and works really neat. New thing on my list is the Enlightened Equipment wind pants. These are just an extra layer. I don't know how chilly it will get. I know it's still the middle of the summer, and I did spend time working in the Nantahala region for 2 summers, and it can get fairly chilly. So especially if you're getting up into the Smokies, just some extra protection for when you're walking when it's cool out, and for like an ounce or 2 for what these weigh. I think it's worth throwing it in the pack as sort of a luxury item. These aren't rain pants, but just a wind pants item. As for rain protection for my bottom half, I have a Z-Pax rain kilt. I love this thing. I don't feel like I'm really bogged down by rain pants, and I can still move quickly and have ventilation, which is really nice. So it helps kind of work in conjunction with the jacket, which I know sometimes can get overheated pretty quickly. But the rain kilt is really great. Both Darren and I have one of these, and I'm hoping that we won't have to use it too much in the middle of the summer, but you never know. It's better to be safe than sorry. So that is Quilt. And that is, for the most part, everything that is on the outside of the pack. In the 2 hip belt pockets, which are detachable, I will carry, like sunscreen, chapstick. I've got my headphones in here, and then bug spray, things of that nature, just other quick access items throughout the day. I'm going to do a longer in-depth review on this pack. I couldn't find a ton of Superior Wilderness long haul reviews online, so I figured after I come back from our summer hike, we'll see if this really lives up to the hype. But so far with the shakedown hikes that I've been doing, I really love the way that it feels and the way that it sits, and it's really cute. So, because it's important for some of your backpacking gear to be cute. To break down what's inside the pack. So I also have from Enlightened Equipment the Apex Torrid jacket. I love this jacket. Unfortunately, this winter I was out with one of my dogs and he got a little overzealous when we were playing fetch and kind of nicked the jacket. So it's got a fairly decent tear in it that I managed to patch up. But this thing is so warm and so light, and I absolutely love it. And it'll definitely be sort of my backup sleep layer if my quilt ends up being too cool in some points of the trail. But I would definitely recommend, you know, plunking out the extra change for this. And again, it's customizable, which is really cool. I just can't say enough great things about this coat. Absolutely love it. Even if you're not a hiker, just if you really live in colder climates, I would recommend picking this up. Absolutely excellent. Next into my pack is my electronics bag. I have the Yuko Air headlamp. This is rechargeable, which is really nice, so I don't have to carry extra batteries. It doesn't have the greatest length of light or in terms of output time, but I'm hoping that I'm not gonna have to do a ton of night hiking, and all I'll need to do is just maybe, you know, very, very late at night when I'm setting up camp. But the benefit of being hiking in the middle of the summer is that the sun rises and sets particularly late and early in the day. I also have the Anker 10,000 milliamp hour battery. This works really well. Took it with me last summer, no issues with it. I'm hoping, you know, to be able to get into town every hopefully 4 or 5 days and charge it back up, because I really don't have any other electronics besides my cell phone and my headlamp that I will be charging on this. And then I also have the Anker kind of dual port, somewhat quick charge plug-in, so that way I can charge both my phone and the battery in a somewhat faster time than just a regular iPhone brick. That is it for my electronics. As for my cook kit, I have the Toast Titanium 750 milliliter pot with the lid, and in here everything fits really nicely. Is one of my other luxury items is the Sea to Summit collapsible cup. I like being able to drink hot chocolate. I'm not a coffee drinker in the morning, so I guess I don't know how much use I'll get out of this if it's not, you know, cold enough in the morning for hot cocoa. But in it, I also have my Optimist titanium long-handled spoon, which folds down, which is really nice. A camp rag. Again, this might be something that I send back, but just to help clean stuff up or wipe things down. Bic mini lighter is a backup system, and then the stove is the BRS little mini stove. Super, super lightweight, works really well. Not the most stable thing out there, but for just one person and for how tiny it is, I don't think you can beat the $20 price tag on this sucker. Works well, you just have to kind of watch what you're doing, but I didn't have any issues with it last summer. So that is everything I cook it. Along with my cook system, I have the Z-Packs Bear Bag Kit, which comes with a little throw line and rock bag. In here I have a quick food pouch to help kind of reduce my fuel consumption. So anything that I cook in a freezer bag or one of those mountain house bags, I can stick in this little guy to help speed up the process, the food cooking process. And then I just got a gallon Ziploc bag for trash. As for clothing that I will be carrying with me, I have the Patagonia quarter zip Capilene thermal weight top with the hood. This will be my sleep top, and I guess if I really need it, sort of a backup layer for when I'm hiking. So I know it can be redundant to carry both a fleece and a puffy, but if I'm gonna designate this as my sleep top, because I have a tendency to get pretty cold at night when I'm just sitting around, so I wanted a long sleeve. Then I just have some REI wool tights. These will be great, again, if it's extra really cold in the morning, but this is just sort of designated for my sleep system. Then I have the Ex Officio Give and Go bikini cut underwear, and then 2 extra pair of Darn Tough socks. One is a backup and one is a sleep system. I'm hoping that it won't get super cold, that I'll need to get really thick wool socks again because it's the middle of the summer, but you never know. So, and then all just goes in a nice little ditty bag. Moving further down into the pack, I have the Nemo Philo pillow. They make a larger version of this, which I absolutely love, but it's definitely heavier and bulkier. So I got this for Christmas and I really love it. Again, it's a luxury item as a side sleeper. I absolutely need a pillow and a stuff sack. With a hoodie or whatever, it just doesn't seem to cut it. So really love this, and it's a fun color. Alrighty, next up on my list. This is a 45-degree, what used to be a sleeping bag from REI. I have a 20-degree Enlightened Enigma quilt that I'm concerned might be a little overkill for the middle of the summer, but luckily Darren will be taking that instead. And so if I get too cold, what I can do is I can swap quilts with him when he decides to head home. But I turned this into a quilt, and I can post the link to sort of the description of how I did that below as well. But for the most part, it weighs the exact same as my Enlightened equipment. Sure, I could get a lighter 45 degree bag, but the total conversion cost me less than $3 in about 2 hours of my time. So I'm pretty happy with it. We took this out to Teton in Yellowstone a few years ago, and definitely wasn't warm enough then. So I know kind of the breaking limits. I wasn't ever totally miserable. So I'm hoping in the South, in the middle of the summer, this should be pretty good. And then down here, I have the new Thermarest Uber Light sleeping pad. On my scale, it was not the advertised weight. It was about 0.5 ounces heavier, so a little disappointed in that. It's supposed to be quieter than the X-Lite, which Darren will be using. So I'm going to do a review on this later after we get off the trail, but I'm excited to try it out. And then I know a lot of people use trash compactor bags as a pack liner. However, I picked up the Neo Air kind of fill sack for the sleeping pads. I'm gonna have that double as a liner. It does obviously have a hole in the bottom, but I'm planning on putting my sleeping pad down there to help kind of protect any water that might get into my pack. We'll see if that comes back and bites me in the butt. If so, then I will just get a trash compactor bag out on the trail and deal with that. But that way I don't have to, at the end of the night of hiking up all of the ups and downs, blow up my sleeping pad. So again, another one of those little luxury items. So again, that is about it for everything that I am carrying. Let's talk about what it is that I'll be wearing during the day. I like to protect myself from the sun, so even though you're hiking in the green tunnel, I'm still gonna have a long sleeve shirt. This is the Columbia Silver Ridge long sleeve shirt. Wore this last summer. Great, loved it. Has ventilation, sleeves roll up, button up, a couple of pockets, things like that. Really great shirt. Doesn't stink too badly after 4 or 5 days on the trail. I have the Patagonia Barely Sports Bra. This is great because it doesn't have the adjustable components on a sports bra that might dig into your shoulders. Washes really easily, dries fast, so there you go. Also, I have just your $20 watch off of Amazon and some sunglasses. I won't be taking a hat. I don't really like hiking in hats, so instead of using a hat, I have somewhere over here in this mess of stuff, I have a half buff to help keep what's left of my hair out of my face. So between the half buff and the sunglasses, that should hopefully work. Moving on down, I have just a wool tank top that I'll be wearing. I'm hoping that this won't be so warm. I enjoyed hiking with this in Minnesota last year. It might be a little too heavy, but it does wick away moisture, so I might end up swapping this out for something else. Then I am upgrading to hiking in shorts. This is a new thing for me. Normally I have capris or pants, but this is the Patagonia Barely Baggies. It does have pockets, pretty short inseam on shorts, but they dry really quickly and they're pretty durable. So I'm excited to see if I enjoy hiking in shorts. Then I am carrying a little trail wallet. So this probably actually won't be on me. This is just a flow fold wallet, so this will be somewhere in my pack. And then for my feet, I have my cool Dirty Girl gaiters, which have yet to actually be dirty. Some Darn Tough top socks, and then the Lone Peak, Ultra Lone Peak 3.5s. I've been using these again on my shakedown hikes and really love the space in between the toes, and the zero drop doesn't really bother me at all. You want to break into that if you haven't had experience using zero drop shoes. I really hate that they're pink because they're so obnoxious and they're so loud, and I already have big feet as it is, so again, I feel like I'm drawing the unnecessary attention to my big old feet, but I guess there's not necessarily the fashion police out on the trail. So I think that is everything that either be in my pack or on my body when I'm hiking. And so again, thank you so much for checking out this video. I hope that you got some information out of it. And again, I will post my lighter packs and the link to the quilt conversion below. But thank you so much and have a great day.